So I am back attempting to make a video. Um, this initially was going to be a blog. I don't know if you know that I have a blog. I haven't written in a long time, so this is going to be my first blog entry in a long time. But as I was writing it yesterday, it wasn't really translating well, and I felt like potentially making a video, even though I'm far less comfortable in front of the camera doing this than writing, might be better because it might translate better. It's a little bit complex and it involves feelings and emotions and blah blah blah. So I'm giving it a try. We'll see how it goes. I don't know, I may not even post this, but I'm going to try. So here's the reality. And this is not a woe is me moment. This is not like a feel bad for me, pity me blog. Like, things are, I'm fine. You know, I'm working through things and I've had a little bit of a rough week, but it's not meant to do that. What this is meant to do, if anything, is potentially open up a dialogue, because I feel like when it comes to emotions and feelings and growth as humans, we're not really told or trained to talk about things on a deep personal level. We keep it very superficial and fun and light and blah blah blah. And then if we don't, we're sad, we're depressed, we're this, we're that. And that's, I think, a stigma, and it should change. So this is my attempt to potentially change that. And if it doesn't work, fine. You can think I'm sad, you can think I'm depressed, you can have your own takeaway. But my goal is to have a dialogue and help me by airing out my own stuff, and maybe help you by creating a conversation. I don't know. Anyways, now that the intro, the horrible intro, is out of the way, I will get into it. So, over the past week or so, I've had a really tough time with a certain element of my life. Now, a lot of you know that I'm in a wheelchair. If you don't, hi, welcome. And that typically doesn't affect me too much. Where it has affected me most is in terms of my self-confidence, in my appearance, in my sort of just everyday, like, feeling like I've got a handle on it, you know, like, in a way. So I'll say it like this. In terms of my appearance and interests, like romantically, not necessarily with friends, like I'm good in that area, thank God. I'm blessed with some of the best friends I can imagine. But when it comes to romantic stuff, I don't have the confidence for it. There has been one relationship in the past that I feel was real, and it lasted about a year, and I thought, oh, this is great. Learned a lot. It's obviously been 2 years since then, so, you know, life goes on. But, yeah, so that happened. Since then, not a whole lot, and the other day, well, sometime last week, I was talking to someone, and they said, hey, look, obviously, like, we're not in a position to date, but I'm just curious, if I asked you out on a date, would you go? And I was like, sure, I would go. Just know that I don't necessarily know that I'm in a place to take that on, or that if I want to take that on, for a lot of reasons. And he was like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, okay, here's the deal. So, because of the wheelchair, I'm always afraid that I am not going to be enough. I feel like I would always disappoint, whether it's just in life, in experiences. Like, what if people want to go hiking, or they want to go skydiving, or they want to do something crazy, and I'm just like, hi, there's me. And I know that a lot of those things could be modified, but that's not the point. You know what I mean? Just that get up and go. Like, the get up and go element is not as easy for me. So I'm like, that's troubling. But also, just in terms of, like, appearance, and then the intimacy element of that, I'm just afraid. I'm afraid that I'm not enough. I'm afraid that I don't have the confidence in my appearance. Like, there's that. And then the bigger problem that I've really been struggling with is that even if someone says to me, that isn't a problem, I will deal with it, I'm ready for it, you prepared me, I'm good. I know that the only way that's going to be true is if I allow it to happen, right? If I allow that to go through and I allow someone to really try, I know that I have to do that, and that's on me. But what I'm afraid of is that even if they are trying and they don't have a problem, initially, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years down the line, I feel like because this situation kind of brings a lot of baggage, that it's not like Louis Vuitton luggage, that eventually it may become like a burden. And I don't want to be a burden, especially if I care about a person. I don't want to be feeling like I'm holding them back. And that may not be on them, that might be on me, but there's a possibility that somewhere down the line, they feel like, this is too much. This is more than I was ready for, because I do think, in my personal opinion, that it wears on you. It's like, you could be like, oh yeah, I have a friend in a wheelchair, but like 3 years later, if you're spending every day with that person, it might become a little tough. And I know, like, the only way that I'm going to be proved wrong is to be proved wrong. But I have to allow that to happen, and the right person has to come along, as is the case with everyone in relationships. So I know that. So, you know, but that's still tough to digest and really wrap my head around, and it's been hard for the past week to do that. And then there is part 2 of this. So same week, same time frame, I went out to lunch with 2 good friends, and somehow the topic of my ex, that one relationship I spoke of earlier, I'm getting text messages, ignore them. The one relationship I spoke of earlier, came up, and my friend was like, oh, show so-and-so, the other person at the table, a picture. And so I was like, sure, not a problem. I have no issues with my ex, we're still friendly, we don't talk a lot, but there's the occasional text message. So I pull up his Instagram, and I show him, and he goes, oh, I've seen him before. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, great. And then, without getting into too much detail, because I have no reason to, you know, I'm not spilling any tea here, or not trying to. Let's just say things that I believed may or may not be true. I don't know, but I found things out during that conversation that I was like, So it brought to my mind questions about the one real relationship I thought I had, and I had questions about it anyway, but there were definitely more after that conversation. So in conjunction with what I was going through earlier, it just kind of hit me. And, you know, it didn't ruin lunch, it didn't ruin my perspective of the relationship, because whether or not the things that I found out were true or not, I still consider that a learning experience, as any relationship should be. I did learn from it, and it was a period of my life, and I don't regret it. I regret certain things that happened, but I don't regret the experience as a whole. And it is what it is. And the reason I'm talking about this is because this is how I process things. I write, I verbalize, I have to get it out. Otherwise, I wind up doing what I've done in my room for the last week, which is just sulking, and that is not cute. So, I know that relationships are tough. I know that building self-confidence is tough. I know that every one of us has our own sort of crosses to bear in terms of confidence, in terms of insecurities, in terms of relationships and dynamics and things like that. So I know that I'm not alone. And the reason I'm sharing these things is because I know, hopefully, one of you has relatable situation, or maybe some insight, or just knowing that you're not alone, I think it helps. And if I can bring some spotlight to that, then I'd be happy to do so. Again, it was very spur of the moment. You can tell by my shirt, like I wasn't prepared. The hair has no product in it. I'm getting text messages, but I have spoken for about 11 minutes and I do feel better. So I know it's a journey. I know it's something that I have to find within myself. I don't know if, when, how I'm going to feel more confident in my situation or my appearance or in the things that make me feel not confident, but I know that I have to try. And I hope this was helpful to some of you in some way, and thank you, if nothing else, for allowing me to talk and to vent and to do this again. So I appreciate it. I will be back. I'm not going to say how soon because we know that never pans out for me, but I will be back. I have missed this. So I'm going to end now, and I will see you all soon. Okay, bye. Wow, this is bad.